you were trying to think of his name, and you're like, who's that guy that paints those color squares that make people cry in front of him? All right, welcome back to another mini episode of Waiting to Dry with the Backache boys.
Yeah, geriatric squad. Coming at you live.
Keeping it super casual because our bodies can't take it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, same format as before. We dive into a topic and we take a listener question and then maybe talk some shit later.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So, a topic that I was thinking about recently was like basically naivete and the illusion of predicted success. So like, especially when I was young, before I really went to art school and all that, kind of what made me want to go to art school is just because like the thought that, oh, if you go to art school, you'll get your degree and then you'll have a job later. And it's just like, that naivete about it kind of does help you move forward. So yeah, just the thing for me is like, I don't know if I would have gone at it so hard in the beginning if people tried to talk me out of it, out of going to art school to pursue a career. I don't know if I would have gone like all in that way. So I think that part of like nobody else really knowing about art careers or anything like that around me kind of helped me to just like go at it kind of on blind faith as far as taking the plunge, as far as making an art career out of it.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to decide if that's good or bad to like either tell people about the truth behind being a full-time artist, or like if that discourages people from going at it. But I don't know. I guess you kind of do weed people out if that's enough to keep people from pursuing art as a career, if you tell people like the harsh truth about it.
Right. Do you think you would be an artist either way? Like, do you think if you didn't go to art school, do you think you would be doing something different?
Probably. Like as a career, I think I probably would be. I don't know what I would be doing. Probably something computer related or something like that. But yeah, it's hard to say if I would, because going to art school did really prepare me for like the realities of an art career, just slowly over time. So in that way, I was kind of used to what the struggle might be, even if I didn't know exactly what it would turn out to be in reality. Going to art school, like if I went to like the university or something instead and was an art major like at Sonoma State or whatever, I don't know. I think I might not have tried to pursue a career in it as strongly, just because I probably would have seen a lot of people drop out of doing art full time. Like I don't think I would have had the same kind of dedicated people around me to see like, okay, well, they can make a living off of art, and that means I could too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to... I didn't really think about our topic at all.
Okay.
And I don't really... I mean, so what's the topic? Like,
just like naivete about like the realities of being an artist. Like, is that a good or bad thing in a way?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's even naivete, because I think, at least for me, maybe it is being naive. I don't know if it's the difference between being naive and the ego. Like, because I think people can tell you like, oh yeah, there's no money in art. And young me would have been like, for you,
right?
Because you fucking suck,
right?
And I'm hella dope,
right?
You know, and that was just my mentality when I was young. It's like, you can't talk me out of this. You know, I mean, the reason I didn't go to art school was someone's like, you don't need that shit, just do it. And I was like, fuck yeah, I don't need that shit. I'll just do it. You're right. Fuck it.
Right.
It's like, I don't know how much of that is me being naive. I mean, I can't tell how much of it is me being naive and just ego. Like, which one to blame for that?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess in your case, it's a bit of both. And yeah, I'd say for me too as well. Like thinking like having an ego of just born out of naivete about it, being like, oh, I'm going to be a famous artist one day. I got this. So,
yeah, and I don't even know. I always try to think of like, is that naive, or is it like the people that end up being successful? Is it just the idea that they stick to it the longest? You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like,
yeah.
It's like by the time the people that are super successful or successful, is it based around the idea that just everyone kind of quit right before, like, you know, I think there's like a little comic or a meme or something about the idea of like you're pursuing, you know, like a diamond and you work hard as fuck and you quit like right before. There's like a comic of a guy like digging a tunnel and you could see the diamond underground.
I see.
And then he gets like a foot away from it and he's like, there's no fucking diamond here. Let me go home.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like how many people quit before they should have? But also maybe that's being naive, but I don't know. To me, it's a better live life pursuing that goal than just kind of, than kind of, I mean, if that's being naive to me, I would rather have that than the idea of like, well, it's not worth it. Let me just go work a 9 to 5. You know, it's like,
right. Yeah.
To me, that's a waste of a life. It's like, I don't know. When people say stuff like, you know, like, why waste your time, whatever, it's like, because I'm pursuing something that I want. It's a goal of mine in my life. Like, you know, to not pursue that seems stupid.
I see. Yeah.
But that's how my mind works. And maybe it's naive, but I'm okay with failing at that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not fine with the opposite at all.
I see. Yeah.
So call it naive or ego or whatever, but I'm just like, I'm just doing what I want to do. Like,
right.
If you don't want to do it, feel free. And if you quit halfway through, fine. I'm perfectly fine with you doing that as well. Like, this shit ain't easy, and no one's saying it is. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I don't know if any. It's like when people are like, having a kid is hard. You're like, yeah, everyone has said that all the time.
Yeah.
No one says it's easy. It's like, there's a reason why they don't call them bawling artists. It's starving artist is the term for a reason. It's,
right. Yeah.
It's the idea that you're not going to make much money off this thing. And the people that do are the exception to the rule.
Yeah. And I guess that's where the perceived success part of the topic comes into, because I think that, I guess the naivety of just believing that that you're just going to have success one day, and like there's a part of that that's the nice thing is that it can come true if you know what you're doing as far as like how to get success goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Yeah, because it's also how you define success. I mean. That might sound a little wonky talk, but I mean, if you ask most artists what success means to them is just being able to do this full time and pay their bills. Like, that's success. It's not like balling out of control or anything like that. It's just, I want to just spend all my working time pursuing this one thing. Right. You know, that's success. I mean, I don't know. Maybe when you're younger, you have these grand thoughts, but I think the more you're kind of in the world, the more you realize like a lot of that stuff is out of your hands. It's luck of the draw in a weird way. You know, it's like, like, you know, most artists that are pursuing it professionally are going to be really talented. Right. You know, maybe the really, really like James Jean, he's a beast. I mean, he's just really good, but I assume he works probably harder than everyone.
Probably.
What was I about to? What was I going? But I don't know. But the idea of defining success, like, is a little different. And I think the older you get, the less you're kind of, you think about it as a fame thing and a baller kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, yeah.
It's like,
I think that's where it starts, where you have these big lofty ideals of where you're going to be in a museum or whatever. And then, like, just over time, you just realize, oh, success is actually like being able to do this without anybody on my back telling me what to do.
Sure. And the hope is that you can paint what you actually want to paint. I think sometimes artists might go a route that isn't necessarily satisfying because they're going the monetary route, so they know what works and what doesn't. And maybe that's fine for them because maybe they don't. I mean, for me, there's nothing worse than trying to paint something I don't want to paint.
Yeah.
You know, so if I was a super successful artist painting shit I didn't want to paint, that's not successful to me, even if I had all the monies in the world.
I see.
Money's plural. That makes sense. But you know what I mean? It's like, you have to like really define how to like think of success and then go towards that path. It's like, I want to be a full-time artist. I want to be able to do it painting what I want to paint. I want to, you know, I feel like feeling like you're creating art that you think is really good, and maybe even getting the validation from your peers might mean more than, you know, having 1 million fucking followers on Instagram or something. You know, it's like, it's everything is a little self-defining, and hopefully, I don't know. And even then, it's still like, it still goes back to like, if I fail in a weird way, I'm still like, is that, in a weird way, I think that's more successful than just not pursuing it in general. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess if it comes down to it, like if hypothetically you're able to sit somebody down who's young, about to go to art school, whatever, and they got in their mind somehow that being a famous artist is the only way to make a living or whatever. Right. You could be like, well, no, the reality is like, if you work hard enough, it's like any other job. You can figure out a way to live life how you want, and hopefully like be able to raise a family and all that, if that's what you want to do too.
Sure.
But it's just like any other job, but yeah, you just gotta work super hard at it. And probably most people will be like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah. And if you can, I always think there's like, you hear comedians talk about how when new comics are coming up and they're like, oh, what should I do? And a comedian will say like, just quit. And it's like this whole like idea of like, if I tell you just quit and you quit, like, you're not cut out for it.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
Like, it's not for you. If that's going to break you, then you weren't going to make it anyways. I mean,
that's a good point.
I also think there's value in the opposite, you know, of people being like, hey, this is what you should do. And like, like if you really want to do it, like here, and hopefully those people take that advice and run with it. You know, but I think both are valid ways of kind of helping an artist out. You know, saying like, just quit. It's too hard. And then, because no one could make me quit. You know what I mean? Like, no one could say like, oh, this thing fucking sucks and you shouldn't do it, and it's a real brutal life and it leads to... It's like...
Did anybody ever tell you that coming up?
I mean, like, you know, like your parents are like, you should go to school and things like that.
Yeah.
But not that I could think of. And maybe it should be done more. I mean, I feel like I say it a lot on the podcast, like just give up. Or, but I think it's like a thing.
That's
where,
your
like,
answer to every listener question.
Yeah, it's like, but if that's what pushes you to the edge, I mean, if that's what makes you quit, then it wasn't for you,
right?
You know, because no one could make me stop this, no matter how hard you tried. You know, I'm gonna be doing this till I can't. And if you don't have that, I mean, feel free to paint and do all that stuff. Just understand, like, you're probably, it's the difference between being a hobbyist and like a professional. I mean, it's the difference between singing at open mics and doing it and touring even on a low level, like it's just levels to how committed you are. And no one's saying you can't, paint a painting.
Right.
It's just don't expect too much out of it, I guess. We good on that?
I think so.
So, nailed that topic.
Nailed it.
I think. Maybe not.
As best as we can do.
I was not prepared. I got to remember to remind or figure out earlier what we're talking about so I could think about it.
Okay.
Because I'm just winging shit, really.
Yeah. Well, this one kind of wing it too. This listener question.
Let's do it.
From Eddie O. Rodriguez. What would you like people to think about you 100 years from now?
I don't give a shit. To be honest, I mean, yeah, I don't know. A legacy is a weird one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it creeps into my brain, but I kind of push it out as fast as I can.
Interesting.
I mean, it's one of those things you have no control over. It's like pursuing fame, It's if a painting is around 100 years from now and someone's looking at it and thinking about it, my thought, what I would hope is they'd go like, oh, that's an awesome painting. I mean, that's it. I don't care if they know my life story. I don't care. I don't know. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this to have a good time while I'm on this round ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I guess I probably think more about it than you do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I definitely want my work to survive 100 years at least, if it can.
I mean, I'm not against that. Don't get me. I'm not against work surviving. I just don't. I don't think about
like you as a human. You don't care what people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the art can stand on its own, and hopefully, I don't even need to be big or famous. If it someone has it 100 years from now, that's cool. Hopefully, it still looks decent.
Yeah.
And hopefully they like it. That's as good as I can hope for. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess having lofty goals helps me to at least want to keep pursuing what I'm doing and make better paintings out of it. So yeah, if 100 years from now people look at my work and be like, yeah, he was a really good artist for the time being or something, I guess I don't really have that many illusions that I'm gonna be known as some great artist 100 years from now, but I'd like to at least make it to some art books.
Sure.
But yeah, I would like to be known as one of the top figure painters of his time. But yeah, I mean that's just a matter of just working at it and using that as fuel to keep working at becoming a better artist. There's a little bit of a motivation for me when I think about legacy and all that. So yeah, for me, it's probably just that, just be known as a really good painter of his time.
What would you want as if let's say they had a short bio 100 years from now? What would you? Is there anything particular other than your painting? Let's say your life or something.
Life. Yeah.
I mean, you have both your ears, so you don't got that going for you.
Yeah, that's true.
But you still got time. I mean, you might want to cut one off at some point.
Yeah.
But there's thumbnails for all the artists. Picasso.
Right.
Got his ego and all the things that come with them. All the guys, they have their weird life parts that pull in to why they're remembered. I mean, probably more than their art in some ways, I want
to be known for my soundboard.
That was too low.
I know it was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't
know. Yeah, as far as who I'm remembered as a person, probably the less people remember about that, like the better in a way, because it's just like mostly if you're known for a lot of good traits, that doesn't usually make the history books.
Yeah, that's probably true. Unless you're Bob Ross.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I'm no Bob Ross. I'm sorry.
Awesome. Is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah, for that question. Oh, something I wanted to do with you, kind of a version of the 10 artists thing.
Okay.
But this was inspired by how you described one of the artists once. But I just want to hear you do like one sentence descriptions of each artist on our
Wait, what artist are you
the hot seat ones, the ones that the famous ones.
Do you know which one I described that made this happen?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me or
well, I was just going to be, I wanted to compare if it was going to be the same answer.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, first one, Rembrandt.
God. One sentence?
Yeah.
I don't know. Goddamn.
I didn't think this was going to be so hard.
For Rembrandt, I feel like it's tough because I feel like the instant reaction is like hella dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
For me, it's there's like a painting where he's like, it's like doctors working.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the first. I remember that was the first time like his work burnt into my brain, was seeing that, and I was like, that is fucking awesome. Who is this guy? And then from like, there, it was like Rembrandt. And I was like the toothpaste?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then, and I was like, this dude is like the fucking best. So I don't know. So doctors working. That's my one sentence. How about that?
Guy who paints the doctors working.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's probably what I'm looking for. Like guy who or girl who. Yeah.
Okay.
So Van Gogh is the next one.
Van Gogh, swirls on swirls on swirls.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess these are for my I guess my aim for it was like describe these to people who don't know art, but like they've seen paintings before.
But they've seen paintings. Oh, that motherfucker that does them swirls.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that good?
Right. Dali.
Dali. You know that hella trippy shit. Fool. Does that work?
Yeah. Picasso.
Goddamn. I just want to yell Guernica.
Yeah.
I just imagine that's what I don't know. That's his work. His work is Guernica with his fist in the air. That's his work.
Yeah. With the Mortal Kombat theme song.
Yeah. Square's taken very serious.
Right. Monet.
I don't know. Lily pad. Soft.
Yeah.
Soft as lily pads.
Frida Kahlo.
I don't know. Lack of tweezers. No diss. So this is just me talking shit as we're going with it.
I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to hear how you describe these artists. Rothko is the next
Frida,
one.
I would say hella intense.
I see. Okay.
That's what I would say. Shit is hella intense.
Rothko is the next one.
God, I don't know. Soft ass squares.
Soft ass squares. That was actually the one that inspired this because you called it. You were trying to think of his name, and you're like, "Who's that guy that paints those color squares that make people cry in front of him?"
God damn it! Makes people cry in front of him. God.
Pollock.
Pollock.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn! I mean,
we know. We've written volumes on it.
People like, did you see that thing I tried to do? I was working on like playing around with? People like, I already knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was going to get in front of it.
I was like, I'm going to get out of the way of this. Yeah.
I should have just wrote something like, on my Pollock grind. Or something
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I'm just getting a shitload of people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Assuming podcast listeners are just like, Jackson Pollock.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
God damn it.
You had to know that was going to happen.
I knew it was. I should have gotten in front of it. Whatever. All right.
Shepherd Ferry.
Accidental fame.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say, yeah. Graphic designer.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure. That graphic designer who got famous.
Yeah. Who did Obama.
Yeah.
That motherfucker that did Obama.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Last one, Bob Ross.
Throwed out. Tree painter dude.
Yeah, there you go. Guy paints the squirrels in the trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any shit to talk besides that?
I mean, I should have thought of this earlier.
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
People stop promoting FASO, FASO, like it's a good website. They suck and you'll hate it.
What's fast? I don't even know what that is.
It's a website that a lot of fine artists use, but it's really terrible and they do shitty things in their business. So I try to discourage people from using it. I saw people promoting it this week. I was like, wonder how much they're getting paid to say all this. And it turns out not that much.
And they probably, here's another thing. If someone approaches someone to get, to pay them to do sponsorship, tell them no, I want more. And they'll give you more. It's the way those businesses are run. They have a guaranteed amount of money. If you just say I want more, most likely they'll give you double what they first approached you with. So
hot tip.
Yeah, fun fact for all you out there. And if they don't, then don't take it. Don't do it. The more artists say no for selling their shit for cheap, the better.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's mine. Don't sell yourself cheap. That shit is lame. And it doesn't help anyone. If you make a couple shekels.
Yeah, they'll just get trained people to say, okay, they'll work for shekels.
Yeah. Yeah. Also getting old. Fuck that.
Yeah, also backaches.
Our backs are beat.
Yeah.
All right. We did it. Mini-sode, complete-ode, Spanish-ode.
Yeah.
God damn it. No wonder we get 1 star sometimes. I'm sorry, Sergio. By the way, thanks whoever reviewed. Oh, happy holidays, you waiting dry motherfuckers. Yeah. We'll probably see you in the New Year's, right? Mm-hmm. That's the next time maybe we'll get one in before. I can't.
Well, let's see. Yeah, if we do one like a regular episode for next week, then yeah,
we're probably not going to book anyone for that just because it's the holidays. I don't like figuring this shit out
for sure.
But yeah, happy Merry Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Yeah, this has been a good year, fun year, a lot of figuring shit out.
Yeah. For sure.
Thanks for everyone sticking with us through this shit. We really enjoyed doing it. I mean, I've already spouted out all my negative shit for why it's a headache, but the actual podcast I really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here.
Yeah. Rate and review us.
Oh yeah, haven't had that happen in a while.
Yeah, we got one recently.
Yeah.
Shout out to that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really helps us. It actually helps us out somehow. I don't know how it works, but it helps.
Helps in the rankings in some way. Yeah.
Yeah. So really appreciated. Takes 2 minutes. I did John. I rated John Wentz's podcast.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not only saying it, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Walking that talk.
Yeah. But yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.
Right.
If you're still listening, Merry Christmas.